This is a Fox News alert. That's the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Bad day there on Friday. The Dow sold off 530. This morning, the Dow futures are down over 300, so there will be a steep sell-off at the open. For a reaction to that and all the things going on in the news right now, we're joined by Donald Trump, who is the front runner on the Republican side. Mr. Trump, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know what? There's a guy who apparently is the editor of the future of capitalism.com. He's writing in the New York Sun today. You know what? The troubles with China, he's blaming on you. He writes in part, investors and financial journalists scrambling to find an explanation for the recent plunge in global stock markets have plenty of suspects. For my part, I blame Donald Trump. Mr. Trump's policies are the opposite of the pro-growth approach, and he takes aim at your immigration, your trade, and your taxes.
Wow, that's amazing. He blames me. I'm the one that's telling everybody what's going wrong and what's going to go wrong. And frankly, I'm the one that says you better start uncoupling from China because China's got problems, and they have big problems, and they're bringing us down. So for this guy, I never heard of him. I have no idea who he is. And, he's probably not very good at what he does. But to blame me is incredible because I'm the one that says uncouple.
Right, and you're also the one who says that the Wall Street guys are getting away with murder, including the hedge fund guys, the investors, and they feel as though they're not paying enough for the money they're making.
Well, they're making a fortune, and I want to take care of the middle class. We had a tremendous rally in Alabama, and people came up and they said, you're treating us fairly. The hedge fund guys are paying nothing. They're paying nothing. And what are they doing? It's one thing if you're building buildings. I'll take a little bit of something. Or you build buildings, you put people to work. These hedge fund guys, they move around papers. Many of them are, if the market goes up, they're geniuses. If the market goes down, they go into a different business, frankly. Right. They're wiped out. They go into a different business.
So should they be taxed, Donald Trump?
Well, they should be taxed a fair amount of money. They have all sorts of elements that are in their taxation, and I say it's different from others, but they're not paying enough tax.
Sure.
And they're making a fortune, and it's embarrassing. And they should be taxed. I know many of them. Some are friends, some aren't friends, and I guess probably after this I won't have too many friends. But it has to. At some point, we have to take care of the middle class.
Yeah, I know in the past, Donald, you have said that you would like to streamline the taxes in this country. You'd like, knock H&R Block out of business, essentially. But can you reveal at this time what your tax plan would look like?
So you can have fair tax, you can have flat tax, and you can take the existing plans that we have and simplify. And I always say that, knock H&R Block out, because people they spend a lot of money to these tax return services, and, for what? It has to be simplified. It's too complicated. You need 195 IQ to be able to figure out a tax return. So we're going to simplify. Now, that's the easiest in terms of getting it done. Later on, if we go to a flat tax, that's something else. But in the meantime, we have to simplify and we have to reduce taxes, in particular for the middle class.
Donald, if you were going to do a flat tax, what would the magic number be?
Well, the magic number is a very complicated number. I've seen them from 15% to 20%. Nobody knows if it works. I mean, the one problem I have with a flat tax is that rich people are paying the same as people that are making very little money. And I think there should be a graduation of some kind, because as you make a certain amount of money, I think you should have to graduate upward. That doesn't mean a raise in taxes. That means rich people might be paying less than they're paying right now.
Well, they say off the top of your head, and you're the numbers guy, I went to Wharton School of Business, but they already say that those in the top bracket are paying 40% of their income, so they make every 10 times they make $10.
And that's just federal.
Yeah, that's just federal tax. How much more can we take from the most successful
people? You're right.
People?
Look, we're the most highly taxed nation in the world. That's why taxes have to go down, business has to come back, jobs have to be back. When these people say Trump, it's sort of interesting because I've been saying we have to decouple. We have to bring our jobs back from China. So I think he's using my name, based on what I'm seeing, I think he's using my name as sort of a metaphor, not because I'm saying it. He's just saying Trump, because he can't be talking about me. I'm the one that's exactly the opposite of what he's talking about, whoever this person is.
That's right.
And Donald, you've been able to stay on message about the economy. Hillary Clinton, though, wanting to be the champion for the working class, that message has been muddled because of this email controversy. In fact, she's decided to take a break from her $100,000 home that she's renting in the Hamptons to head to Ohio to start campaigning again.
Early, yeah, she's leaving her vacation early.
A bit early. Also, buzz over the weekend really growing about Joe Biden possibly tossing his hat in the ring, even meeting with Elizabeth Warren. What do you make of all this?
Well, I think something's going to have to happen. And, Hillary is in deep trouble. The email situation is turning out to be worse and worse. The number of messages, the number of, look, it's very simple. General Petraeus, on far less important documents, he was destroyed. His life was destroyed, ruined. And what he had to go through, for some reason, so far that hasn't come out. But what has come out is the documents were more highly secret. They were more important. There were more of them. It's really General Petraeus on steroids. At some point, I would imagine something has to happen. So I don't know what's going to happen to Hillary. I can tell you this. When you talk about campaign finance, the hedge fund guys are the ones that are giving her the money.
Right.
When she was in the Hamptons, she was with the hedge fund guys.
Right. What do you think about Biden getting in? Does that worry you as somebody who wants to be president?
I think Biden will be fine. I mean, my attitude right now, I'm against 16 other people, of which you probably have 4 that have a real chance, okay? But I'm against 16 other people, and that's what I focus on.
You're not worried about Joe Biden. Let me ask you, what about your relationship with Ted Cruz? Everyone says you've met with him in the past, you've met with him recently. Are you guys thinking about teaming up?
No, we're really not. I'd like him, and I really respect the fact that he is one of the people that hasn't attacked me. The amazing thing, everybody that's attacked me, you look at Perry, you look at this guy, Lindsey Graham, vicious attacks, they all went down to 0, and now they're getting out of the race. It's one of the greatest honors I've ever had, I think, in my life. Everybody who attacks me goes down to 0. Perry's gone, Lindsey Graham is gone, they're all gone, and they attacked me, and they got a lot of publicity in the attack because it was me. So, and Bush, by the way, attacked me in a very modest way. He's a low-energy person, so when he attacks with low energy. But he's going down. And
he is. Today,
it's
he's going to the border.
An interesting thing to watch.
What do you make of him going down to the border today? I mean, last time you went down to the border, you came back and you said you had talked to a number of the border agents, and then you were able to detail better what the problem is.
Well, I think it's great that he's going to the border because I think he'll now find out that it is not an act of love. When the people, he said that people crossing are crossing as an act of love, which came back to haunt him. He will find out it's not an act of love. I was down on the border. It's rough, tough stuff. This is not love. This is other things going on. And I think he'll probably be able to figure that out, maybe.
Donald, did you see that video over the weekend of some drug smugglers scaling a border fence between Mexico and Arizona? Did you see this? And what do you make of it? Tell us about how you want to make sure that the border is not as porous, about this wall that you say you're going to get Mexico to pay for and have a door to bring in the good immigrants. How are you going to do that?
I did see that, Anna. I thought it was incredible. Actually, I was very impressed with the shape these guys are in. The way they got over that wall was actually incredible, carrying loads of drugs on their back. And when I was there, I saw something that was amazing. The drugs go out and the money comes in. So Mexico is taking in tremendous billions and billions of dollars in drug money. The money goes right out, gets sucked right out of the United States, and the drugs come in. So we get the bad stuff. As usual, we get the bad stuff, they get the good stuff. The money goes right back into Mexico. So you have to build a wall where they can't do that. The way they climbed that wall was actually rather amazing. They're almost like Olympic climbers. But they got over the wall like no trouble.
Well,
a Trump wall they don't get over.
They've had a lot of practice. Donald, I know in the past you have said you are willing to spend up to $1 billion on the campaign. And you have said in public that some lobbyists came up to you and said, I'd like to give you $5 million as a donation. You said no because if you became president, you didn't want to, be beholden to them. So you are now, I understand, willing to take donations, but it's a no strings attached deal. Explain it.
Only no strings attached. And so many people, in fact, during the speech in Alabama, I said, I feel sort of foolish. People are offering me millions and millions of dollars. And I turned down a $5 million the other day from a lobbyist who I know. But I know him. There's only strings attached with him. And I know many of the people that have given to Bush, they don't give because they like his hair color. They give because only one reason, total strings attached. They want what they want. And I won't do that. But I will accept, I think, from a practical standpoint, I have so many people that are writing in. A woman sent a check for $7.32 the other day with a long letter. It was the cutest thing. I have people sending $10 checks. I have people that want to contribute more. Only if there's no strings whatsoever attached. The only strings attached is I want to make America great again. That's the only string because we need it so badly. The country's in such a bad way. You look at China. I've been talking about China for years. Because China's going bad, it's going to bring us down, too, because we're so heavily coupled with China. It's really, look, we are being run by people that don't have a clue. They don't know what they're doing. They're totally incompetent. We've got to stop.
Gotcha.
Yep. And now the Chinese are impacting our stock market. That's where we started. Donald Trump, thank you very much. We know you got to go run your empire and run for president. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Have a great